Good evening. Don't worry, the Match of the Day family is sticking together. 8 matchups coming your way. And punditry royalty in the studio.
I think before we were 1-0 up, we should have been already 1 or 2-0 up. We had really big chances, especially the double chance we had after, what was it, a minute, 2 minutes, I don't know. But that's how it is. If you have the opponent is a quality side like Tottenham, and you don't close the game, then you can expect, and it happens most of the time, that they come back. But it was intense, and it is intense when you play against these players, and they're set up so defensively, and you lose one ball, and that's the best counter-attack in the world maybe you can face then. That's really intense. It's physically intense, that's mentally intense, and that's why you have to use the chances when you have them.
I think this was one of the occasions where we got nothing, when we deserve so much to get something. Was probably the best team in the world in the maximum of its potential against a team in a difficult moment. Lots of injuries, important injuries, difficult season, and I think the boys competed in a fantastic way.
What I know about football is if somebody gives you a trophy or something, then it's done. Until then, you have to fight as much as you can, and that's what we do. And so far, so really good.
It certainly is really good. They're the first team ever in the top 5 leagues of European football to win 20 of their opening 21 fixtures in a league season. Extraordinary stuff. Danny, have we ever talked about Liverpool's front three?
Well, I mean, is there an aspect of this Liverpool side we haven't eulogised about, because it's extraordinarily good in every department. Yeah. But the front three deserve credit today, because I think that today they played a little bit differently in terms of their freedom and rotation. They always have a little bit of this, but Mane, Salah and Firmino, we tend to think of Firmino down the middle, Salah on the right and Mane on the left, but today they were all over the place, all three of them, and they caused Tottenham, especially in the first half, all sorts of problems. They played quite narrow at times, which they do, allowing those full-backs to bomb forward, and as the game went on you see it more and more. It's more noticeable, their little link-ups and how close they played together, and what that did is it meant that the Tottenham back four played really, really narrow and gave lots of space for the full-backs to come out, and then Liverpool dominated the game in the first half. This finish, by the way, is exquisite. Yeah. The touch on it, and the strike on his weak foot, that's a man playing with confidence. 5 goals in his last 6. In fact, Firmino was probably the best out of the 3 today. Part of his game, of course, is that tenacity to get back in those positions and win balls back off the midfield's feet and then play into the other 2. And again, you see the 3 of them. Width of the 18-yard box, very hard to mark, nearly linking up, super tackle there. And a lot of Tottenham's defending, it was last ditch. Very, very hard to play against this. Look at them, 3 of them. You could throw a coat over them. They're all ready to put the ball in the net from 4, 5, 6 yards out. And it just kept happening. And when you've got these 3 in your team, you don't have to play well sometimes to win games. I mean, Mane over the season's probably been the best of the 3, but today Firmino was the star man, and that front 3 has to be up there with the best in the world.
Oh, unquestionably so. No doubt about that. What are your thoughts on Spurs' performance? Obviously, they've got the problems, like Jose said, with injuries, losing Harry Kane, difficult season, etc. But they fought hard.
Definitely did. Look, Liverpool definitely were dominant for large periods of the game, but I think, in that second half, they came out, Tottenham, and I thought they showed some spirit. Yeah. They were definitely set up in a way. Jose set them up in a way to protect them. Yeah, he's right in terms of they're in a difficult moment, but they've created enough opportunities in this game
especially that one,
to probably nick a draw. In the end, because Liverpool didn't take the chances they should have. You have that feeling that maybe Tottenham should have got something out of it.
I thought it was the right tactics, Jack.
It was the right tactics from and he had some good performances within it as well. Players like Sergio Aurier stepped up today, and Tangana on his debut had a very good performance as well.
Did Spurs complain about a few decisions? They've probably got a point with 1 or 2 of them. Yeah,
as always, there's always something in there for us to talk about. I mean, Mourinho was right. This throw-in was...
but these things, they happen.
It's a small detail. You switch on. We all know that. You switch on. You don't start moaning and throwing the ball about. Switch on, do your job. He did talk about them for half an hour, saying they defended throw-ins, but this is the possible handball. Yeah. And I think Liverpool got a tad lucky here, as Henderson did.
Ali handled it. I think they both probably put a
well, I think it's his... I mean, it is... minuscule.
But with that new law, that means if it leads to a goal, it should be given,
And this is the tackle.
Yeah, and the tackle...
I don't think this is...
I think if you really kind of look at this, slow it down, he wins the ball first and foremost, and it's almost the outside of Robertson's boot that catches Sergio Aurier. There's the ball. It's the outside of his boot. They're both going for
Barely a foul.
Going to
personal on that
Tangana's,
one, but
going in for the challenge.
This is a bit
one,
cheeky, though, isn't it?
This is cheeky.
Not
and
nasty, but
he should be getting
a
booked
little
for that.
flick.
You know,
Only a flick.
It's still a booking.
It's a bit like Lacazette's one in midweek. He did one similar against Everton. He's just got to sometimes calm himself. I know he's got that fire in his belly, but big European games, he could go for things like that.
OK, well, it's 3 games without a win in 2020 for Manchester United, including a 3-1 defeat against Manchester City